Hi Stampers, Diane Evans here with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. Now, if this is your first time joining me on my YouTube, I thank you for coming over, but make sure that you subscribe. And when you do subscribe, down below, there's a bell there. Hit that bell and you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. So today I'm playing again with the hand pen petals suite and the hand pen petals bundle. Man, wrap your mouth around that. But this bundle, if you do buy it as a bundle, you save 10%. But with the hand pen suite itself, it's absolutely a gorgeous suite. It comes with the bundle, it comes with the designer series paper, and also the genial gems that go along with it. But today we're going to be playing with all aspects of that suite. So we're going to be using this. I'm going to be doing some coloring actually with the stamping blends. This is a two-step stamp, and actually you can use these stamps to color in your images, and they work and they look wonderful. They give that watercolor look. But for this particular card, I wanted to have more coloring and shading on the flowers. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. This is the designer series paper that I'm using today, and this is the one that has the cinnamon cider in there. And at first, when I first saw this designer series paper, I went, I'm not sure if I really like that, but trust me, it really is growing on me. So originally, this card was developed for a mystery challenge, which I do every single Wednesday on my Facebook, in my Facebook group. There will be a link below if you want to join that Facebook group. So I have my cardstock here, and I'm using mint macaron. Mint macaron is one of the colors that's in here, and also so is a garden green, but also so is the evening evergreen. So I have regular card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I've just gone ahead and that's been folded already. And then I have a piece of this evening evergreen, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, all of my measurements will be on my blog, and there'll be a link down below where all the measurements will be linked to that blog, plus all the supplies and everything that I use in this card. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to layer that part up. There. And then also I'm using this designer series paper on there. Now originally when I cut this, I didn't have enough of the cinnamon cider showing, and I wanted more of that cinnamon cider showing, so I went and recut the designer series paper. And this piece happens to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And we're just going to layer this on here. And then I have another piece. And originally what I was going to do, I was going to make this into a fancy fold card. With the mystery challenge, you don't want to go that difficult on there. So this piece is 2.5 by 5 inches. And this piece is 2 1/4. And this is 2.5. And this is by 5 1/4 because I wanted that to line up to that piece there. And I wanted this to line up to the other designer series paper, so it looked like a clean flow across there. So see, oh, it's so pretty, that paper. This one that I'm covering up is so pretty, but I like this side as well, and this has got the mint macaron in it. I think these colors just go great together. I think the greens that Stampin' Up has are amazing greens. So I'm just going to go put this down here on the front. And then I did cut from, this is roughly a 3 by 3 piece, and I cut this particular die out of there. I have gone ahead and because I've made so many of these cards using this particular image, I have a template already done up on my Stamparatus. And I have quite a few videos that show how to make this template. But I just have that, and I'm just going to go in here, and I'm just going to put this in, and it's so much easier than actually stamping and then cutting out afterwards. So I'll just go, and I'm using Memento ink because I am using my stamping blends. And then I have this neat little tool that a customer gave me. It's called a Chucky. And I'm not, well, I do know why it's called a Chucky. It's named after the man that made it for his wife. And it's just so that you don't have to keep pressing down on here. It just gives an even pressure all the way through. And then I know that this is going to be inked on my paper. So like I say, we'll just put that away. I'm going to be keeping this because I know I'm going to be using that image quite a bit more. So this image is going to go on here, but I'm also going to go ahead and I want to stamp the sentiment on here. Now I can do a lot of different sentiments on there, and I think I will make this as a thanks card as well. So just put that onto my, whoops, onto my block. And because this is also a photopolymer stamp set, I'm going to bring in my paper piecing mat, and I am going to actually use Evening Evergreen. I think that would be the best color for this particular one. So let's make sure that I've got that straight. There we go. The fonts in this particular stamp set are just amazing. Now I'm going to actually trim this piece down a bit. It is 5/8 of an inch wide. And then I'm just going to trim this down just a bit. So let me just bring in my little tiny trimmer. Whoops. And I'm just going to, like I say, just take a little bit off of there. So this is going to be at 2 1/4. So this piece is 7/8, 2 1/4. So I'm going to make this at 2 1/2. Sometimes if I decide to use bigger words, no, that's... You know, I could even make this a little bit smaller. So let me just do that. I'm going to go, this will end up being 2 inches. Originally, I was going to use another sentiment, and I needed a thank you card, or a thanks card. There we go there. All right, so just going to actually pop that up with dimensionals onto this piece here. We'll have that ready to go. Let's just put this onto here. Now I could make that a narrower border if I wanted to, but I think this looks quite nice with it just like this. All right, so I'm going to close this up. And now I'm going to just bring in my blends and I'm going to color. And I used real simple, easy colors. I used the Soft Succulent. I know it's not a real color that's in this, but it does look so nice on the leaves. I've used light and dark cinnamon cider, and also I've used the So Saffron. So I'm just going to go in here and just going to color. Now I always saturate my color first. Saturate first with the lighter color. This is a preference. I'm actually going to go in with my darker. Oh, I don't have my dark So Saffron. So I'll just go in and I'll actually bring in my light Daffodil Delight. The same thing would happen with the dark. And I'm actually going to use my light Cinnamon Cider just to give myself just a bit of different dimension on here. And then I'm going in with my light So Saffron, and I'm actually going to blend that in more so that it gives me kind of that type of a look to that flower. All right. Then I'm just going to go in with my light Cinnamon Cider, and I'm going to color this bigger flower. I'm using my brush end. Like I say, I'm going in and I'm trying to get as much saturation on this color as possible. And I'm using a lighter touch. If I want a darker, more intense color, I would give it a little bit harder of a touch to it. But let's just get that done. And then I'm going in with my dark. We're just going to give a bit of the shading. I don't want to give too much shading. And I'm just going to go back in with my cinnamon cider to take those lines away from the darker shading. And then I always thought that this was a little bit too dark, so I went in with my lifter, my color lifter, and I actually went in and just lightened up some of that cinnamon cider. And it just lifted some of that color off, just enough so that it gave me not so intense of a color. Let's see, I just want to go back in. There we go. And then we're just going to go and color our leaves. And I just did that with Soft Succulent. And I leave a bit of white space with mine. I find it works so much better. And I'm just going to come in with my dark. I'm just going to give it that shading that we need. Oops, I missed a whole leaf down here. And see how I really like this, how this Soft Succulent looks with the cinnamon cider, and just a little bit here. Then I'm just going to go back in with a bit of a light touch here just to feathering that out. Bit of feathering. And here as well. There we go. Oops. And now I can just put the rest of this part together. Just want to make sure you put your lids on and make sure that you listen for that snap. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on there. The color saturated to the back, which is good. That means that we're doing something right with that. So this is going to go on there. I'm also going to pop this up. I may not pop this one up because I think it's going to be high enough, but let's just see how this works. So I'm just going to put this up like this. And I'm going to show you another one that I used other product with it, and you'll see how it all looks together. So I'm just going to put this off to the, I could do it there, but I think I'm just going to actually put it off to the side a bit there. And then I have my ribbon, and this is the Evening Evergreen open weave ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a bow with that. I made this look more difficult than what it really is because it is not a hard bow to make. Just want to tie this off. There we go. And the key to making a good bow is making sure it's good and tight. So I'm just going to tighten that up, and I'm just going to come in with my scissors and cut that off. These aren't my ribbon scissors. Okay, let's go and make sure that we got that good and tight. Don't want that as big as I've got it, so I can just pull that down, but I have to keep tightening it up. And then I'm going to put it on with glue dots, and then I'll trim off the excess that's there. All right, so glue dot there. And I always put the glue dot on the back of the bow. And if it's a little too big, you can just squish it down. And I'm just going to put it on there. And you see what I mean? I've got to trim this off. These are probably not the best scissors for trimming these off. There we go. These were my old rubber scissors. There we go. And of course now we can use our genial gems or genial gems. And these are the beautiful ones that come with the suite itself. And I think I'm going to use this one. Whoops. I'm going to put one up here. Oops. And let's put one right about there, and then I'll come in with one of the littler ones and we'll put right down there. All right. So if we want, we could turn around and we could also go ahead and put some Wink of Stella on there. We could do any of that sort of stuff. Just to let you know, just a quick one, I also used the Quiet Meadow in this particular one and added to it there. But this was just for the ease of the mystery challenge. So I hope you like that. Like I say, give me the thumbs up if you like that. Also, if you have any questions, make sure that you just ask those questions, and make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Also, if you live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I have a very generous host reward program. This is my host code. I believe this is expiring pretty quick here. But on my blog, there's always a link to my host code at the very bottom of all my blog posts and also off to the right of my blog post. So like I say, I hope you enjoyed that and have a great day. Bye for now.